Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 broken characters in online games. For this list, we're looking at characters that caused widespread rage in online games because of how fundamentally broken they were. Which character were you begging to be nerfed? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Boba Fett, Star Wars Battlefront II. Roughly a month before Battlefront II was supposed to launch, the game was already on a rapid decline. EA became public enemy number 1 because of 3 things: loot boxes, star cards, and the notorious Boba Fett. It was the way these 3 elements blended together that really infuriated players. Boba can have star cards equipped that buff his rocket barrage ability, significantly increasing his damage output while reducing incoming damage. While this has been nerfed since beta and launch, the bounty hunter is still causing dismay in Heroes vs. Villains mode due to players using his jetpack to reach places none of the other characters can get to. So if he becomes the target, the villains are practically guaranteed a free point.
Many deaths as you need to.
Number 9. Scientist, Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for Neighborville. Battle for Neighborville failed miserably at supporting itself with new content, and during one of the few times developer PopCam Games implemented anything remotely new, we got the terrible Scientist's upgrade. The Scientist's low damage output forced him to rely heavily on allies. However, when given the Steam upgrade, he can easily take out enemies with 1 or 2 shots. There's seemingly no middle ground with this guy, and with a select few of the characters getting these upgrades, we have to question just how balanced this game really is. Number 8. Kratos, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. It wasn't just the fact that Sony had blatantly copied Smash Bros. That drove away so many players. Upon entering an online match, one could expect at least 2 players taking the role of Kratos, for good reason. The Ghost of Sparta boasts godlike attack speeds compared to the rest of the cast. Thanks to his agility, he can quickly rack up enough power to trigger his level 3 super. Speaking of which, his super was so broken that it could last long enough for Kratos to off each player twice. Granted, Kratos would probably destroy PlayStation's IP characters if they really went head-to-head, but within the game, his advantage made online play insufferable. And his dad Zeus was just as awful.
Victory!
Number 7. Freddy Krueger, Mortal Kombat. When it comes to broken Mortal Kombat characters, many will immediately point fingers at Scorpion in Injustice. However, the notorious face that most angered players was Freddy Krueger. Even though it was interesting to see a horror movie villain in the game, Freddy was absolutely intolerable to fight against online. The sadistic killer could easily execute devastating combos and had a fair amount of zoning abilities such as teleporting and some ridiculous ranged attacks. In other words, Freddy was a living nightmare in the Mortal Kombat community, both in lore and reality. Number 6. Dormammu, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Ready. Fight! First attack!
Between their crazy visuals and the characters' flashy moves, the games in the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise can get pretty wild. The only time you wouldn't want everything to get so crazy was if your opponent was a well-versed Dormammu player. Doctor Strange's nemesis was a real problem on servers, specifically because of how far-reaching some of his attacks were. It was almost impossible to avoid some of his offensive moves. And God help you if you got caught in a chain of Thorn Garden attacks. Although Dormammu has since been nerfed, those who suffered defeat at his hands will never forget.
What would you like me to burn next?
Number 5. Medic and Spy, Team Fortress 2. Almost every time Valve gives one of the TF2 classes a new weapon or mechanic, everything suddenly breaks. Of the 9 classes available, the 2 that have caused the most headaches are the Spy and Medic. As expected with support characters, the medic has seen a handful of weapons that granted too much healing or ubercharge, potentially making their team invincible. As for the spy, well, the Ambassador and Dead Ringer weapons will forever live in infamy thanks to how they allowed the user to spam the spy's cloaking device. Both have received nerfs over the years, but not before enraging defeated players. Number 4. Goku GT, Dragon Ball Fighters. The kid version of Goku has been a point of contention for many in the Dragon Ball Fighters community. Whereas some don't see much of a problem with him, others claim the character is unbalanced, citing his ability to rack up insane amounts of damage with just a couple of auto combos. There's also one big elephant in the room: his small size. GT Goku's small stature makes it easy for some attacks to miss. In short, some players see absolutely no weakness in Goku GT's moveset. While patches have come out since his debut, we wouldn't be surprised if a minor adjustment stokes the flames again.
My body might be smaller now, but I'm still the same Goku!
Number 3. Leroy, Tekken 7. Leroy was supposed to be the biggest badass in Tekken 7's post-launch life. He was going to be one of the coolest new characters introduced to the competitive fighting game scene. Unfortunately, Leroy became the most resented character in Tekken history. This dude could parry just about every single move, except for throws and projectiles. To make matters worse, Leroy could deal devastating damage with very few button inputs. After a tournament in Japan saw 6 of its final 8 players compete with Leroy, one thing was certain: Leroy was broken as hell. Sure, he's nerfed now, but we'll never forget how he nearly killed Tekken 7.
You're done.
KO. Number 2. Bastion, Overwatch. Overwatch has had its fair share of balancing problems between the likes of Reaper and Mercy, but the most controversial figure of them all was that beep-booping bot, Bastion. He managed to enrage and frustrate the community a few times over. This was due to his incredible defense, versatile gameplay, and self-healing abilities. After launch, many players called for Bastion to be nerfed. In response, his passive ability, Ironclad, which reduces incoming damage, was scaled down. But the changes haven't satisfied all players. Let's hope things are a little quieter for Bastion when Overwatch 2 rolls around.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Bayonetta, Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. It was a big deal when Bayonetta was announced as the Smash Ballot winner and the final DLC character for Smash 4. Unfortunately, the community quickly pulled the welcome mat away when it was discovered just how ridiculously overpowered she was. She could pull off insane juggles on just about any character and boasted a hefty number of zero-to-death combos as well as absurd recovery. It got so bad that at EVO 2018, crowds would boo any player who chose to compete as Bayonetta. And we thought the controversy around Meta Knight in Brawl was bad.
Victory is my destiny.
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.